Hello, everybody. It's me again, Ryan from the Standing Room Only, a Boston Red Sox podcast. Doing the third video for the YouTube page. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on. Don't worry about anything. We're good. The podcast is still going. We haven't done a podcast in a while. We've just been really busy. Everyone, me, Rob, and Matt have all been pretty busy lately. I was just on vacation in Colorado for a week. Rob is also on vacation right now in Colorado, totally not related. And then Matt next week is going on vacation. So we're trying to do a podcast for this Sunday. Um, that's why I've been doing these videos, kind of just keep up with everything. But we've just been busy. Everything's fine. The podcast will be back soon. And then obviously we have that, and we're also gonna be starting a football talk podcast soon. Once we can all get together, it's just schedules. We're adults. We all got homes, we all got families, we all got a lot of shit to do, and eventually, hopefully, this podcast or this, you know, standing room only studios will be so nice and so big that we can actually, live off of it and we can do more shit. But until then, you have to bear with our schedule. For like the two of you out there that watch these videos, if you're wondering, we'll be back soon. But regardless, I'm going to cover how the Red Sox been doing lately. The last time I'm not going to do the usual breaking down series things because there's a lot. I missed one, two, three. I mean, it's only 4 series, but that's 12 games. I don't feel like breaking down 12 games would be a really long video, and there's not really a lot of good things to break down in that span. So yeah, since last I've been on here, the Red Sox have played 12 games. They had a 3-game series against Arizona, a 3-game series against the Athletics, a 3-game series against the Yankees, and then another 3-game series they just wrapped up with against the Athletics from the beautiful city of. But yeah, in that span, the Red Sox in 12 games, they have won 5 and they have lost 7. Not good. Things are not looking good right now for Boston. They still have like I think it's like an 86% chance or something like that, or 80 something percent chance of making the playoffs, but it's just hard, man. I remember when I first did the first video for you guys, uh, pretty much saying like, oh, at the time the Red Sox had just played 8-game series and or 8 games, 8-game stretch, back-to-back 4-game series, and they won 7 of those games, and I was like, oh, everything's looking really good right now. That's awesome. There's a good chance that in a few weeks when we get down to face Toronto, we might be playing for the division. I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, the Red Sox are barely holding on to the last wild card spot by a thread. I think it's half a game right now. Cleveland is surging. They've won, I think, 5 in a row or something like that. Like, they've won a good amount in a row, and they're like only half a game behind you now. Yeah, the Red Sox, they just don't look good, and it sucks because it's all. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of this culminates with the fact that Roman Anthony got hurt and he was their best player overall. But I don't know. I'm not going to break down the series like I said. I'm just going to probably just vent and rant about what I think the team's doing right now, or how I've been feeling about this team watching them over the last 12 games since I last talked to you. In that 12 game, I mean, like they faced the Yankees, they lost 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. They lost 2 out of 3 against Arizona. They won the series against the Athletics the first time in Oakland. Oakland, geez, what is this, 2024? In Sacramento of the unnamed city Athletics. They took 2 out of 3 at their home, and then they also lost 2 out of 3 recently against the Athletics at Fenway Park. And you should not be losing to teams like the Athletics. I'm sorry, but you just shouldn't be. Brian Bayo, right off the rip yesterday, Bayo gave up a home run to Rooker, and they were down like 3-0 after the first inning or 2-0 after the first inning, whatever. And then they just never came back. They lost 5-3. Their offense has been. I mean, some games have been pretty good. But like their offense is just like they can't get a hit with people on base against the Yankees. That was a frustrating series. And again, like I mean, they lost 2-1 the first game against the Athletics. They lost 5-3 yesterday. They lost 5-4 against the Athletics in the last game they played there. Yeah, I mean their offense has been pretty nothing. It sucks that Abreu's hurt. It sucks that Anthony is hurt. But you got vets like Bregman and Story. Might be it actually. Duran was like a MVP kind of candidate last year. Like you should still have a decent offense, and they don't right now. Alex Bregman's been ice cold, and it sucks that Bregman. I think last video, that's when the story came out that Bregman is likely going to opt out at the end of the year. Well, ever since then, he's not played like a guy that's going to get a big contract. He's still a great player. I know he is, but He's just not been playing good. His offense, he's been very cold. Trevor Story's been good, although he made some bad errors yesterday. Story's been good. But yeah, just watching this team, and 5-7's not terrible, but this is not the time for them to start falling like that. Do I still think they're gonna make the playoffs? I hope so. I'm not gonna make any more predictions because every time I do, uh, you know what happens. But there's just there's things that's happening with this team right now that I think are very frustrating as a fan. I'm sure it's frustrating for the players too. I don't think that they want to lose. I don't think they're trying to lose, but um, I don't know. I feel like they might be in a little bit of trouble. Honestly, I think that they're in a little bit of trouble. I think that Cleveland is starting to play good baseball, and Cleveland was where they were sellers at the deadline. They were sellers at the deadline, and two of their best relievers were like betting on games and shit. And yet, for some reason, they're like a half a game behind you. Um, it sucks that we are in this position because like I think it was like a week ago they had like a 97% chance of making the playoffs. Now it's down to like 85 or 86. It's in the 80s, but either way, that's a rather steep drop. I still think that they should make the playoffs, that's for sure. But it's just been tough to watch. Like case in point, the Yankee series that they played. Um, they didn't look great against the Yankees. And I think it was after the first game where Jazz Chisholm, the third baseman slash second baseman slash I think maybe he plays other positions, but he said that when they asked him about, he's like, yeah, we know that we're the best team. Talking about the Yankees, we know that we're the best team, and we're here to step on people's necks. Now I can understand you can say what you want about Jazz Chisholm, but that's a message that I like to hear. If I'm a fan, I want to hear that because it's like, okay, these guys are locked in, they're ready to go. And then I think maybe it was that day or the next day after the Red Sox either lost the second game against New York or they after they lost the first game. Alex Cora, the manager of the Boston Red Sox, when asked about stuff about the playoffs, he pretty much said like, oh, let's not talk about October right now. We have to get there first. And it's like, dude, like I don't want to hear that messaging right now when your team is not getting hits with people on base, when their pitching is not great. The starting pitching has not been that good. Garrett Crochet's been great. Well, he's been good. Brian Bayo's kind of faltered. Lucas Giolito's faltered. The guy walked 5 a couple days ago against the Athletics, dude. Like, what are you kidding me? Like, you're like 4 innings away from getting like a $14 million bonus, and you can't not walk shitty hitters. Like, what's wrong with you? Respectfully, I know you guys are better than I am. Whatever, but like the bullpen hasn't been good. Weiser came in and blew a game. A few games. He leads the league in blown saves. He's not even a closer, but he leads the league in blown saves. For a guy that has maybe technically 0 saves because he's not a real closer. Maybe he has a save or two. I don't know, but he's not an actual closer. Like even Chapman blew some games. Chapman had a couple of bad outings in that span too. He lost against the Athletics in the last game of the series in Athletics Town, and he also gave up a run or two against the Yankees. I think. It's a lot of things are not going well for them right now. Cora feels like he's over managing. The fact that he took out Connolly early. I'll get Connolly early. No pun intended. I'll get to him in a second, but I'll talk more about him in a second. But like things right now for the Sox, like, it's not feeling good as a fan, and maybe that's the pessimism in me. It's also been a while since we really had like a wild card watch or a playoff spot watch around here. They haven't made the playoffs since 2021, where they went to the ALCS and lost to Houston. But even then, I remember at the end of that year, they fell into the playoffs and just happened to get hot for a couple of series. Like Kike Hernandez in particular, they had 8 home runs that postseason. So, I mean, for all we know, they could freaking wrap off another few wins. I mean, they already have more wins than they did last year, so that's cool. But like, I don't know. It just does something about this team just doesn't feel good right now. The starting pitching's not really giving you much hope. The hitting, the timely hitting is not good. They get a lot of hits. They just don't get a lot of runs. They don't score as much as they should. It always feels like someone's trying to swing for the fences when there's a guy on second base. Like, just get a bloop single. You're not a power hitting team. You got guys like Nick Sogard and Nate Eaton in your lineup on an everyday basis. Don't try to hit a home run. So there's just something just doesn't feel good about this team right now. It's tough to watch. It's definitely been it's not been fun to watch. Games are kind of boring. Like I said, it always seems like they're losing by the time they bat. The pitching has been great. me and Rob and Matt were like talking in the group chat a couple days ago, and like we were like complaining, because Bregman's, he should be the leader of this team, the guy that made everyone else a better hitter by virtue of being there, and he's been playing bad. And now you got guys like Cedar Rafael, who has like what, 1 home run, 2 home runs since the All-Star break, and he's in like 170 since then. All these players that you would hope to do well is they're not doing well. And offensively, another thing that's annoying, going back to the Cora point, I know I'm all over the place. I don't have a script. I never do. I'm sure I'll be watching these videos in years and be like, good, that's cringy. But like right now, I don't have a script. But going back to the Cora point, where I didn't like his messaging saying that, well, why don't we chill on the October talk? We have to get there first. The annoying thing about that is that he was asked, like, I think the question was, are you guys going to carry Ali Sanchez, who's their third string catcher, into the playoffs? Are you guys going to have 3 catchers going into the playoffs? And that's when he said that. But like, that's another thing. Why do you have 3 catchers? I'm pretty sure Ali Sanchez hasn't even played a game in Boston, or if he has, it's been very forgettable. Let me look at Ali Sanchez's stats real quick. My computer's pretty slow. But like, why do we have Ali Sanchez on this team? No offense to Ali Sanchez, I don't know much about the guy. But Ali Sanchez, let's look at his stats. Overall this year, he's hitting .217 with 0 home runs and 0 RBIs. And in Boston, he's played 4 games. He's basically been, from what I've seen, a defensive replacement. He's had 2 at-bats. 2 at-bats in Boston. And we're holding a spot for the guy when the team's offense can't get a timely hit to save their lives. Like, why can't we have Christian Campbell up? I understand that Christian Campbell had a bad month and a half. After having a really good first month. Again, the rookie of the month the first month. But Jesus, like, just give the guy a chance. He's done okay down in AAA in Worcester. Why not just give him a chance? Why is Ali Sanchez taking up any kind of roster spot on this team right now? I would much rather have Christian Campbell than David Hamilton. Although David Hamilton hit a home run yesterday. David Hamilton this season, let's look at his stats. He's in 201 with 5 home runs and 17 RBIs and a 584 OPS. You mean to tell me that you don't think that Christian Campbell could be doing a little bit better than that at this point? A little better? Like something like that? Let's see. Hamilton, he's not even like really much of a speed threat because he has 21 stolen bases. That's not bad. He's been caught 6 times. But dude, like Trevor Story has more stolen bases than he does. Like he's not like, he doesn't get on base enough to be a speed threat because he's like virtually an everyday player. Nick Sogard's been okay, but I would have much rather have a second base platoon, I guess, of Sogard and Campbell and Romy Gonzalez, who's kind of faltered a little bit as of late, but like Gonzalez is very versatile. You can put him anywhere in the infield essentially, or except for shortstop. But I would love to have. I would much rather have a second base tandem of Sogard and Campbell than Sogard and Hamilton. Hamilton has just not been good. He's not having a good season, and that's annoying to know. Like you look back and you're like, oh, the Red Sox were going to trade for, I think it was Luis Castillo from Seattle, but the reason why the trade didn't go through is because Boston didn't want to part ways with David Hamilton. And it's like, but we kept that. Like, I would much rather have Luis Castillo on this team, but that's just another thing to be annoyed about with this team. But yeah, no, like the offense has been very pedestrian. The pitching has been very Like the 8 and 9 in the bullpen, even though Chapman's been kind of like struggling a little bit lately, like I still feel comfortable with eighth inning being Whitlock and 9th inning being Chapman. It's just the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings apparently that are rough because it doesn't seem like the Stars want to go 5 innings anymore. But I don't know. Right now, things don't feel too good. Like I know it says that there's like an 80-something% chance they're gonna make the playoffs, so very likely they're gonna. But it's still like right now it just feels 50-50. Like the way they've been playing, they don't have a lot of energy. They don't have a lot of. They're not doing much to instill that, we as fans should be confident in what they do. And apparently, Alex Cora doesn't seem to think that way either. And I think Cora also mentioned like, this is very reminiscent of 2021, like I said earlier. But like, brother, like you have to like, you can't go from let's chill on October talk after the third baseman or after Jazz Chisholm of the New York Yankees, your biggest rival, that day before the day of, said like, oh yeah, we're the best team in the league. We're here to step on people's necks. 2 totally different messages. And one team's been playing like a team that wants to step on people's necks. The Yankees have been playing pretty good baseball since. And they are most likely going to easily win the AL wild card. And this is a team that was in the World Series last year. So there's a very good chance they're going to go on a run if they get there, if they get to the playoff, when they get to the playoffs. It's just it sucks right now. It went from being like, oh, the Red Sox are like, we're gonna finally see playoff baseball in Boston, and to now here we are with how many more games left in the season? It's either 83 and 70. Got like what? How many more games? I don't know. My math is dog, but right now, they have 9 games left in the season. It sucks with like 20 games left in the season. We're like, oh, they're gonna make the playoffs. It's gonna be cool to see it. But now with 9 games left, we're like, oh, are they gonna make the playoffs? I don't know. They're gonna start a series against Tampa Bay, a 3-game series against them starting tonight, and then after that they get a day off on Monday, 3-game series against Toronto, and then after that they have a 3-game series to end the season against Detroit. And it's like, I mean, Tampa Bay, they've been good. They've been really good against Tampa Bay this year. They've also were really good against the Yankees, but then lost 2 out of 3 against them. Crochet's going to that gives me a little bit of hope. Apparently Kyle Harrison's pitching tomorrow. That's pretty cool. But you know, you got to hope that they can win at least 2 out of 3 against Tampa Bay. Toronto has owned them this year. I'm not confident about that series. Toronto's still a very good baseball team, so I don't know about that. And then Detroit is a good baseball. They've been skidding as of late. Excuse me, they've been skidding as of late, but I think that they're also good against the Red Sox this year. And like the one series that we faced them earlier, that they won the series. So it's like it's not a gauntlet to end the year, but it's 3 solid teams. I think Tampa Bay's also won 3 in a row, or they I don't know they've won a couple in a row. I don't know what they've done, but I'm pretty sure that they're like still like they're a decent. They've been playing rather well baseball as of late. And like I said, Toronto owns you, and Detroit is a better team than you right now. So, not a lot to not a lot of confidence to have right now. Is it overreacting on my part? Of course, it probably is. I'm a Red Sox fan. It's what we do. But yeah, that was just my little rant about how I feel about the team. Sum it all up in my 15, 16 minutes of ranting. I'm not super confident. They need to start hitting better right now, tonight, preferably. They need better pitching from their starting rotation. Garrett Crochet can't be the only good pitcher on this team, or at least the only good pitcher that's given a chance by management on this team. Their bullpen needs to step the fuck up. Craig Weissert, do your job. You know that you need to. You're not going to watch this video. I know I'm talking to you directly. Yeah, they just need to play better baseball, and you can't keep on using we lost Roman Anthony as an excuse. The kid was a 21-year-old rookie. He should be learning from you guys. You shouldn't be following his example. You know what I mean? You still got Alex Bregman. You still got Trevor Story. You still got Jarren Duran. Cedar Rafael is in his second, third year in the majors. You know, Nathaniel Lowe is a veteran first baseman who has been in the World Series and won it, and he had a pretty good playoff with Texas a couple years back. You have the veterans on the team to at least, and the veteran management. You should have the veteran management in terms of Cora and Vasquez and stuff like that to make it so that losing a 21-year-old rookie isn't the death knell to the season. So that's my opinion. They have to start playing better in all fronts. Now, some positive things about the last 12 games since I last talked to you guys. Connolly Early. He's been very good. Yeah, granted, he's only pitched against the Athletics in both of his starts, but Connolly Early this year, the young guy with such a baseball name, now pitching Connolly Early. Like, that sounds like something you hear in like an old 2K game. But so far in his 2 starts, he is 1-0. He's got 18 strikeouts. 18 strikeouts in. Let's see. Sorry, 18 strikeouts in 10 to third. He's walked 1. He's given 10 hits and 1 earned run in his 10 to third innings of work. Realistically, he probably should be 2-0. Sorry, there's this weird ad going on right now. It's really freaking me out. I don't like it. It's like a weird toenail clipping thing. ESPN, do better. That's gross. I don't want to see that shit. So yeah, in 10 to third, he's pitched 10 to third against the Athletics. He struck out 18, walked 1, 1-0 record. He was pulled early, no pun intended, from his last start against the Athletics. He had a little bit of base running. There's like someone on base. They took him out of the game. That guy ended up scoring because Greg Weissert came in and gave up 2 runs. He gave up an inherited run on Early's part. His only run given up in the year was even given up by him. And then Weissert gave up a run of his own. Now, of course, the reason why he took him out is because of matchups. I think the batter that was hitting is a lefty, and supposedly the lefty's really good against left-handed pitching, but Connolly early is clearly really good against Athletics batting, so why not just continue that? He was kind of dealing, so just let him deal, you know? Don't take him out after 5 1/3 when he's dominating the only team he's ever fucking faced in the major leagues again. But again, that's another thing. Just more, don't overmanage. Another thing I can add to the to my list of rant. I can't wait to watch this video back and be like, Jesus, Ryan, get to the point. But yeah, no, Connolly early, very good. I think Trevor Story's been playing. His bat's been good in the last few weeks. In that span, let's see what Trevor Story's stats are. Trevor Story, by the way, 30 stolen bases and 30 attempts this year. Was not expecting that. I don't think anyone was expecting Trevor Story to be a 30 stolen base guy. But he is, and this is what we've been missing for the last couple of years. Trevor Story, obviously, in his 4th year with Boston, he was injured heavily in his first 3 years. This year he's played 149 games. He is hitting 268 with 25 home runs, 93 RBIs, and 31 stolen bases. He did get caught, unfortunately. He did start off 30 for 30, but he's got 31 stolen bases and 32 attempts. His defense has been okay, but this is what we wanted from the guy. He's been good, and he's been hitting the ball rather well this season. He might have. There's a chance he can have 30 home runs and 100 RBIs this year. That's pretty cool. So yeah, those are I guess don't mind my table. Those are positives. Unfortunately, Chapman had a couple of stinkers after going off for the last few weeks, few months. But yeah, Nathaniel Lowe still playing decent, I guess. I don't know. There's really not much to be super positive. Kyle Harrison had one appearance with the Red Sox. I think it was that last game against the Athletics in which they lost. Harrison, he went, Harrison went 3 innings and struck out 2, gave up no runs. He's going to be starting, I think, tomorrow. So that's pretty cool, the guy that we got for Devers. So yeah, but they have to play better. Otherwise, the season could go to hell. And hopefully it starts tonight. Take care, guys. Go Sox.